friends. It's a beautiful day out today. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but here it's prime time grilling weather. So I've invited my friend George to come over and show us how to marinate a piece of beef. Now this marinade you can use for really any kind of meat, but it's great for those tougher cuts of beef that really could benefit from some flavor and some tenderization. Is tenderization a word? Anyway, let's welcome George. George, take it away.
Yeah, hey, Melody. Thanks for having me. There's nothing I like more after a long day of work than coming home, throwing a piece of meat on the grill. So we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna throw some ingredients together and make ourselves a really good, solid marinade. Let's start now. So the base for our marinade is gonna be some olive oil. You can use some kind of other fat if you prefer. You got canola oil, avocado oil is really great for high heat. I'm gonna use some olive oil. So I'm gonna do about 1/3 of a cup. Now you can't have steak without having some Worcestershire sauce. I don't care how you say it, but it's gotta go in the marinade. So I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. I like to use Lee & Perrins. Other brands just don't taste as good in my opinion. So we're gonna do 1/3 of a cup of Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce. All these measurements are pretty easy to remember. You're gonna do another 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. Now I'm using tamari. It's a kind of soy sauce essentially. I don't have quite 1/3 of a cup, so I'm gonna make up for that by seasoning my steak with a little extra salt. It's gonna give us that nice, briny, umami flavor. Next up, you got your citrus. Now you don't have to use lemons. I'm gonna use lemons because I got a lot of them today, but you could use limes. You could actually even use oranges for a little bit of citrus zip. So I'm just gonna do the juice of 2 lemons straight into my marinade. It's really handy if you wanna do your marinade in a container with a spout. I'm using my Pyrex here because we're gonna pour it into a big Ziploc baggie when we're done, and otherwise you're gonna get mess all over the place. So make sure you got a spout. The cut of beef we're using is this beautiful flank steak. As you can see, it's very lean. That's why we gotta have an acidic marinade to help break down some of those beef fibers. You also wanna have a little sweetness to your marinade. A balsamic vinegar is gonna add some sweetness. It's also gonna help break down those long fibers in the steak. So I'm gonna add about 1/3 of a cup of balsamic vinegar. That's probably good. All right, now we gotta add our seasoning because I don't know where you get your steak from, but where I get mine, it don't come seasoned. All right, I like to use garlic powder in my marinades. You can use fresh garlic. Garlic powder's faster. That's what I like to use. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons garlic powder. Beautiful. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of dried parsley. If you got fresh parsley, that's fine too. You're gonna have to use more. I'm gonna use dried parsley, 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon parsley. If you got rosemary, you can use whatever herbs you like. I'm just using the herbs I have on hand. I got some thyme. We all got a little extra time on our hands right now, huh? All right, I'm gonna add some sage. Give my steak some wisdom. Grab yourself a cute little whisk if you got one. We're gonna mix it all together. It doesn't matter if it's super combined. You're just trying to get all those ingredients together the best you can. You're gonna pour them on top of your steak anyhow. Finishing touches, a few glugs of hot sauce ain't gonna hurt you. Time to season our steak. We're gonna use some fresh ground pepper. It really makes a difference if it's fresh ground. It's not gonna taste as good if you get that canned stuff. I'm just letting you know right now. Now I'm gonna add some salt, kosher salt. Don't use table salt. If you got kosher salt, it's a little less salty. Really great for the meat. You wanna treat it real nice. Give it a nice massage. Just rub it in there. You don't want all your salt and pepper falling off your steak into the grill. flip her over. Same thing the other side. Now, if you ain't like me and you didn't run out of soy sauce and you use the full 1/3 of a cup, then maybe go a little lighter on the salt, especially if you got high blood pressure. Best way to marinate your meat, gallon Ziploc baggie. You're just gonna toss the whole thing in there. It's gonna be a tight fit for this one, she's a big girl. All right, now we're gonna add our marinade straight into the baggie, give it a final little zhuzh. Now don't be shy and just pour it all over your meat. Lumps and all, it don't matter. We're gonna mash it all together anyway. Seal up your baggie. Make sure it's nice and tight. And massage the seasoning onto your meat. Now I'm gonna let this sit out at room temperature before I grill my steak, because I'm about to grill my steak here in an hour. And your steak is going to be much juicier and cook more even if you start at a nice room temperature. I know people are afraid to do that, but trust me on this one. We're going to leave it out. And that's it. That's all there is to making a marinade. You can substitute ingredients. If you can make a salad dressing, you can make a marinade. All you got to have is some acid, some fat, some seasonings, and you're good to go.
Wow, George, thanks so much. My mouth is watering and I can't wait to taste this juicy steak when it comes off the grill. I think it's time for both of us to pop a cold one.
Hey Melody, it was no problem. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for letting me show you guys how to marinate a steak. Getting off of work, marinating a steak, throwing it on the grill. What could be better? Happy grilling.